Hi, this is Peter, and have you ever wondered why we are living in a time in human history that our ancestors have literally dreamed about, and yet today there are more people stressed and on antidepressants than at any time before? Why is that? Why do we have so much access to abundance and prosperity and devices that we could only have conceptualized in minds of geniuses only a few years ago, yet so many people remain so unhappy? Well, I'm going to share with you what I believe to be the answer, using a simple metaphor. See, I'd like you to think of this glass of water, and the stuff that's in the water represents the content of your life. It's the stuff of your life, the stuff that's in the scene of the movie of your life. It's your friends, it's your family, it's your money, your no money, your spiritual beliefs, your work, your boss, all of the stuff, your toys, your dreams, your aspirations, all of the stuff in your life. Now, the glass represents how we hold the stuff in our life. In other words, the stuff inside is the content, and the glass is how we hold it. It's the context. It's how we see the stuff in our life. And here's how most people, if you've noticed, live their entire lives. We start off in our 20s with trying to stir all of the things in our life, all of the stuff. We're mixing it around and trying to figure out, where do we fit in? What do we like? Where do we go? What food do we like? What hobbies do we want to look at? What career path do we want to follow? All of that kind of stuff. Now, in our 30s, there's more of a pattern to it. Why? We've got into a routine, we've picked up our habits, we've developed our personality. We kind of know what food we like, we know what sex we like, we know what kind of career path that we want to follow. All of that stuff, more of a pattern. 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Guys, what's the use? We spend most of our lives trying to stir the stuff of our life to get happy, to change it, because we don't like what's currently in our life, so we go outside to try to fix things, to try to adjust the people in our life, the jobs in our life, the opportunities in our life, all of that stuff to try to make the stuff fit the pictures of how and why we should be happy. But I want to share an insight with you that I think you'll find very powerful. For example, let's just say this is our life, and we're so upset because it's so transparent. People see right through us. My life is boring. I'm not happy, I'm depressed, I'm upset, or I'm just plain bored. And you have this inspiration one day, you think, wow, I know what would make my life complete. Some color. I need some blue in my life. That's what I need, right? And so what happens? We start trying to change the stuff in our life for blue stuff. And what do? We go out and we start getting a blue job, and we start hanging out with blue friends, and we start wearing blue clothes, and we start watching blue movies, we start doing anything that's blue, we eat blue food, whatever. And all of a sudden now, we're all excited because our life has so much more color, it's blue. And we're happy for a brief moment. We've achieved our blue goals, and what happens? We have this feeling of elation, which lasts what? A week, a month, a few months at best, before the same feelings start coming. Something? This blue stuff, I'm not feeling it. It's like I thought I'd be happy when, and I get there, and I'm not. We see lottery winners do that all the time. We see people that get careers with letters after their name, or jobs in positions where they've been striving for years, only to think they'd be happy when they got there, but they're not. And then you think, oh, I know what it must be, of course. Blue, what was I thinking? What I need is red. So we go back. We try to reset our life, and we start looking for, instead of blue, red. Of course, why was I so stupid? Red is the color of passion. It's the color of love. It's the color of, it's so much depth, so much more richer. Sunsets are red. And we start making our life red. We start driving red cars and wearing red clothes and hanging out with red people and drinking red drinks. And all of a sudden, our life becomes red. And wow, we're happy for about another few weeks or months or what have you, until that aching in our soul starts speaking at the same level. And is this all there is? I thought I'd be happy when. You see, the challenge with most people that are playing this game is that they don't realize there's only two games in town. There's the feel great when I hit my goals, when I make $1 million, when I find the partner of my dreams. Good luck with that. And then there's the other people that play a very different game. The game of feel great now. But you may turn around and say, well, how can I feel great now? I don't have the stuff in my life that'll make me feel great. Well, here's how the great thinkers of history, the great achievers of history, and the great teachers of history all came to the same conclusion. See, they realized that trying to change the stuff of our life was useless. It's a perpetual hamster wheel to unfulfillment. See, you cannot be fulfilled through achievement on a long-term basis. It doesn't work. So instead, here's what happens, right? What if, instead of trying to change the stuff of our life, we changed how we hold it? In other words, let's say we think, oh wow, my life is so transparent and boring, if only it was blue. What if instead of changing the stuff of our life, we have the same stuff, but we change the glass? What would instantly appear to have happened in our life? It would appear like everything was blue. It's the same stuff, but the way we held it was differently. Or maybe red, we get bored of being blue, but we're happy with blue, we fancy a change, or want red. Instead of trying to change the stuff in our life, we hold it differently. And now all of a sudden, it's red. That's why you hear the saying, two men sat behind prison bars, one saw mud, the other saw stars. You're not trying to change the content. I'll share a quick story with you. A friend of mine always resented his father. Why? Because his father would never come to the parent-teachers meetings at school. And he'd try so hard to get approval from his father and really hope that his dad would come so he could hear how hard he'd been working at school, because every kid just wants their parents to be proud, and he so wanted his dad to come, but his dad never would. And what happened? Well, he started to resent his dad. And one day the frustration built later in life, and he was an adult and he hadn't spoke to his dad for years. The relationship was strained. And finally at a family gathering, they got together and he couldn't help but ask the questions like, Dad, why didn't you ever come to school? Why didn't you ever support me? And his dad turned around and said, son, it's because I was so embarrassed because I couldn't read or write, and I didn't want the teachers to think that you came from an embarrassing family, because I knew how well you were doing and I thought that might upset you. Boom. In one instant shift in awareness, the entire perspective, the entire way my friend saw his life and his relationship with his father, same relationship, same father, same circumstance, completely different context as to how he held that. Can you see where I'm going here, guys? See, playing the game of feel great now has nothing to do with the outer world. It has everything to do with how you shift the meaning of what's happening in the outer world. And you know what's fun? When you start to build a really robust way of holding the things in your life, when no matter what comes into your life, things just, you don't get thrown off center. If you do, you get back to center quickly. That's the art form of how to win the game of life. It's not about not being exposed to negativity. It's about what you do when it shows up. And here's what happens. You can take the stuff of your life, and if you do get exposed to some negativity, right, some of it creeps in. It's like, oh, it's okay. Or you start thinking, I need to change my life, and you start putting more stuff in and you move the stuff around, and the winds of life come and start blowing you around and start questioning you. You get self-doubt or anything else. If you have a strong model of the world that doesn't rely on you having to control everything, having to change everything that you can't control outside of you, then no matter what comes into your life, if you have your entire world turn upside down, because you lose your job, because your spouse leaves you, because some catastrophe happens, guess what? Your entire world doesn't fall out. And you can stay calm and centered in the midst of a storm. They're the people who get paid the most. They're the people that lead society. They're the people who change the world. Not because the stuff in their life happens to be perfect, they went to the right school, but because they know how to retain their center, because they have a strong way of being able to look at the world in a positive way, no matter what happens. And that's when the magic shows up. Speaking of magic, if you think you know how I did that, leave the comments below. My name's Peter Sage, and thank you so much for watching. And remember, it doesn't matter what happens to you in life, it's always how you see and deal with what happens to you in life that's the real secret to happiness. Hi, this is Peter, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. But remember, it's not about passively learning. It's about actively applying what you learn in your life to make a difference. In other words, knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, leave a comment below, and if you really want to make a difference, share this with people you care about, and together, we'll see if we can make the world a little bit better place.